If you need a pitch deck that actually gets a yes, here's the fast way to do it. Use AI to do the research first, figure out the flow of the slides, and then create all the text and images. I'll show you which tools I used for each step, and beyond a sales deck that sells, you'll also have some incredibly useful documents that you can reuse on every project. Okay, so on the left is my old deck, and I think it's okay, but it's not super clear about exactly what service I'm offering. It doesn't really speak to my target customer or use their language. It's kind of this random list of things that you can do with AI, kind of a toolbox, without really showing the benefits of what AI can do for you. The new deck on the right tells people exactly what I do, who I help, and why they should get in touch with me. It has some of the same features as the previous deck, but has a much more natural flow, and it's much more clear in its process. It follows a better structure, it creates more trust, directly addresses some of the concerns that people might have, and gives them a reason to get in touch with me. The net result is that people will know exactly what they're getting and how their business will change if they start working with me. So how did I make it? The first and by far the most important step is research. I've been running AI workshops and doing consulting for about a year, and I had a rough idea of who might be interested in my services, but I hadn't created a customer avatar or ideal customer profile. If you already know your target customer, great, but you can always benefit from learning more about them. I uploaded one of the PDFs from one of my workshops, and I asked ChatGPT who would be interested in what I teach. I knew it was better to specialize or niche down rather than try to be an AI jack of all trades. So I was already clear that I wanted to focus on AI for design and marketing because I've had a 15-year career in design. And it's what I love, but even that's still too general. AI for design could appeal to anyone who needs to speed up their design and marketing work, which is just about everyone. ChatGPT helped me figure out two types of people that I could help the most. Creative directors and marketing managers working for medium-sized companies, and founders of small businesses who are just too busy or don't have the budget for making high-quality designs. So after I'd figured that out, I wanted to know what their main complaints were. I used deep research to figure out the biggest pain points of in-house teams and small businesses. I wanted to know the actual language that my target customer uses when they're looking for solutions in Google or complaining about their jobs on Reddit. A big tip here is don't try to write your own research prompt when AI is so much better at prompting than even the best prompt engineers, and way quicker. Just decide what you want to find out, let AI consider all the angles, and check that the prompt matches your goal. Then copy-paste that into a deep research agent. I recommend using both ChatGPT and Gemini, and then getting ChatGPT to combine both the reports. So this is the report that I ended up with. It's got both of the personas that we figured out beforehand, and then it's got all of their top pains, like overwhelming volume of requests, no time for strategy, brand consistency slipping under speed pressure, and then it's got buying triggers, potential objections and concerns, the communities where they're active, the desired outcomes that they want. And it's got that for both sets of people. And then finally, it's even given me an overlap of the pains that both of them feel. Then it's given me all this other stuff. The big upside is that research means you can do fewer revisions later because the words on the slides you're going to create are literally theirs.
Stick with us. It's all about the strategy.
So next up, I needed to define my offer. Before, I was broadly offering AI consultation. So I used deep research to figure out what other people were offering, how much they charged, and how much I could package my workshops for. I also researched AI adoption points for my target audience and how my draft offer compared with the market. Don't worry if these barely seem readable. The main point of them is to feed them back into ChatGPT so we can synthesize all of that information to create the perfect offer.
The strategy.
And then finally, we decided on 3 tiers. Okay, so that's the foundation. You can use those documents to guide all sorts of other things you might want to do in future. Ad campaigns, landing pages, website copy, email sequences, sales calls, one pages, even onboarding. So I just needed one more thing. I needed to know how to structure and write the perfect sales deck. So I asked ChatGPT Deep Research and Gemini to find out the best sales practices and the most effective structure for making a sales deck to give me a kind of formula. This is another long document that you don't need to read because we're focused on output. Again, we're just going to upload this to ChatGPT later. I think this is a pretty useful general purpose doc that anyone can use. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Okay, so cool. Now we've got the skeleton. Let's put it into action. Okay, so the final step. I uploaded my ideal customer profile doc, my offer doc, and the sales strategy doc for the deck. And I asked ChatGPT to write out the full text that should go on every slide. I asked Claude to do the same because different LLMs have got different strengths and weaknesses. So why not get the best of both worlds? Claude wrote it in a more human, emotionally intelligent way, but ChatGPT's answer was smarter. So I took both outputs and got ChatGPT thinking to compare them and then finally take the best out of both of them. I used ChatGPT to write the prompts for the images on every slide and generated those images in Sora. I already had my visual style and brand colors, so just used that to lock in different pictures and explore variations. In the end, I made a few tweaks to the text and iterated a lot in creating the images, but I was pretty happy with the result. The point isn't the deck, it's the method. Research first, slide flow second, assets third. Now I have a deck that gets read, plus reusable docs that I can use on every project. So just a quick recap. Research your customers first. That's creating an ideal customer profile, figuring out their pains and the exact language that they use. Create a clear offer that stands out from your competitors. Use all of that strategy to draft the copy that's going to go onto the deck and use ChatGPT to write image prompts. Then put it all together. There are some slide generators out there like Gamma that are getting pretty good, but for on-brand presentations, I still prefer to make them myself. I've put the principles of a good deck report down in the description, so feel free to download that. If this was useful, please click on subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.